No Ben Brust again today. He's still playing hooky. I did see him today, but I did not see him in the office. He is working from home for his other job, but not for the job that is most important to you, KBN Nation. But this is Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace, filling in for Ben Brust, who is acting sick. Yeah, I'm filling in for him. I am. When I'm bringing in the show, that means Ben Brust is not here.
Yeah, Ben Brust.
Oh, your eyes got worse.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, you know why?
It's distracting.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. It's worse today.
You know, I feel like, Kyle, you've seen me for an hour.
I know, you were sitting to my left.
Oh, wow.
You were not directly in front of me. I'm sorry, that's Brad Norman. I'm sorry, Brad.
Okay, yeah. My eye has gotten worse, and here's why. Okay?
ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube, to see the worsening sty that he claims he had.
And to catch up, KBN Nation, my oil glands are large in my eye, making me more predisposed to get bacteria in it, and therefore getting a sty, which for those who don't know is basically like a pretty severe pimple on my eyelid.
Oh, wow.
And it hurts. I'm not going to lie, it hurts. I'm on antibiotics for it. Thank you very much.
You got
my health
medicine?
history. And the other thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do warm compresses, right? So I've been warm compressing regimented, and the problem is it makes it worse before it gets better. Yes.
Is compressing the same as compressing?
Compress and compress?
Yeah, the same word, Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah,
why did he say it like
using,
that?
I don't know, but he's smart. That's why.
Is that how you're supposed to say it?
He's University of Wisconsin-Madison educated.
That's true.
That's true. Is there a better way to say warm compress?
No, I've never heard.
Compress.
No, compress is like the verb. A compress is like.
But it is a
act.
verb because I guess that's also an act is a verb, right? So watch this, Stevens Point education.
Cool.
So you're compressing, so you're taking essentially a warm rag and putting it on your eye, right? That's essentially what it is.
With water. What it does is it draws blood to it, but it's going to make it worse before it gets better. So I'm just grinding here.
Yeah, so it's doing its job. It got worse.
Do I get more credit though from Ben Brust? I mean, I've been fighting off a cold, as KBN Nation can probably tell, for about a month. I got a sty in my eye, looking like a freak, and Ben Brust is doing his sales responsibilities from home.
You should call him out. You should call him out for being soft.
Ben Brust he's supposed to be a grinder.
No,
look at me grinding.
Go worse. Go worse. Keep digging.
No, I can't go worse.
Keep digging, Bradley. Go into that pit in your stomach where you just want to tell him
I already feel bad because I think he's legitimately sick, so I already feel a little bit bad for.
He's legitimately sick, but he's fine.
Yeah.
He could have thugged it out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have him back tomorrow, but until then, we are holding it down.
Yes.
It down here.
Which means we should report the bad news. No, are you smarter than Ben Brust today? I pitched the idea of are you smarter than Kyle Wallace. It wasn't well received.
Yeah, no. When he pitched the idea, he said, "Yeah, we've been kicking tires on. Are you smarter than Kyle Wallace?"
Well, we kicked it around. Yeah.
I said, who the hell been kicking what around? Because I wasn't part of that kicking around conversation. How y'all talking about me without me being around?
Well, as the producer of the show, Kyle, I unfortunately cannot involve every one of you in every conversation I have. So sorry.
Are you saying that show ideas happen when I'm not even in the room?
Yeah,
when Kyle's not even in the room?
Occasionally, yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes Ben's not in the room.
Show ideas about what you going to do with me. What the hell is this?
Kyle, you always make fun of Ben Brust for being bad at Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, but you would be equally as bad. Can
I just say, during Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, I am the only one who consistently, when he gets something right, I say, good job, Ben. I'm being sincere. I'm not just saying it to say it, because I know for a fact, if you put me under pressure, I am going to crack. I am going to burst. I know I won't do well. I won't do well. I'm not trying to embarrass myself.
Who is known as the father of the Constitution?
Thomas Jefferson. Benjamin Franklin.
James Madison.
Benjamin Franklin is the kite guy.
He's electricity.
That's Thomas Edison.
Oh, Thomas Edison.
No, Benjamin Franklin.
Well, he did the kite.
Yeah, he did the kite.
Yeah.
But
electricity is
Thomas Edison.
Yes.
And Nikola Tesla.
Who's the prime minister of England in the 80s?
Margaret Thatcher.
Good job. At least you got that one.
I mean, you give me the ones I hear. I mean, I'm not stupid where I don't listen.
What do you call a word that is spelled the same forward and backwards?
A palindrome.
There you go. Yeah, you got that.
Almost said onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
Nah, I'm smarter than Ben Brust, but I'm not smarter than a fifth grader. But 800-990-3776. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. And yesterday we had, I would say, a colorful conversation and a heated debate about the breaking news of Myles Garrett requesting a trade away from the Cleveland Browns. And so for me, overall, I was really excited about it, Brad. But yesterday, we talked about it, and we put it up as a poll, and we asked KBN Nation, right, would you want the Green Bay Packers to make a trade for Myles Garrett? Now, when we put that trade up, honestly, I understand like everything in life is not 100%, but in the case of Myles Garrett coming to the Green Bay Packers, I thought that's a no-brainer, right? Should the Packers be all in for Myles Garrett? You would think it'd be 100-0 in this poll. Everybody in Packer Nation would be in on that one. Brad, do you know what the poll results on KBN, or excuse me, ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter and X? Oh, you know what the results were?
What was the results, Kyle?
The results, there's 22 minutes left to vote. But with 22 minutes left to vote, 67% said yes, 22% said no, 33% said no.
That's way more than I would anticipate.
33%, a third of KBN Nation, a third of Packers Nation, a third of our Twitter following believes the Packers should not go all in for Myles Garrett. And Brad, when I see that, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Like, even talking to Jason Willie yesterday, and Jason Willie joins us every Monday and every Thursday right here on Kyle Bruston Nortman. And when he was talking about, well, you know, Goody may not do this, may not do that, I think that's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid to even question the fact whether or not we should be getting Myles Garrett. Brad, let me ask you something. When you were in the NFL, were you in the NFL because you just wanted to win football games, or did you want to win Super Bowls?
Super Bowls. That's it.
Exactly. You want to win Super Bowls. And so for us to understand that getting Myles Garrett gets you closer to a Super Bowl, this makes going in, all in for Myles Garrett, absolutely a no-brainer. And then on top of this, Brad, when you think about it, what position on offense is the most important position?
That's be quarterback.
Okay, and what position on defense is the most important position?
Edge rusher.
Edge rusher. My goodness. So you mean the Green Bay Packers have a chance to get an elite quarterback and then also get an elite pass rusher, and we're going to sit here, we're not going to go all in? I think it's absolute stupidity for anybody. Yes, anybody to sit up here and make an excuse and try to ration out why the Green Bay Packers should not be going all in and not just getting Myles Garrett, but absolutely trying to win a Super Bowl, because that is what it is all about, Brad. And I'll end this here. Do you remember the Super Bowl where the Rams were in when the Rams took on the Cincinnati Bengals?
Sure do.
Do you remember how that game ended? Just the last defensive series the Rams have. Do you recall what happened those last 3 to 4 snaps?
Yeah, the Bengals were down 1 score driving, and it was Aaron Donald, the superstar D lineman, that smothered their drive.
He was an absolute menace. He put his stamp on it. He single-handedly ended that football game. KBN Nation, Packers fans, this is our opportunity to get a guy such as an Aaron Donald that could single-handedly change a ball game. A guy that had the #1 pass rate rush in the NFL. Y'all remember when Coach Kevin Green said to Clay Matthews, "It's time, Clay. It's time." And what did Clay Matthews go and do, Brad?
He went and wrecked it.
He went and wrecked it and stripped Rashad Mendenhall, whatever his name is. He stripped him, and we got the ball back. That is what you can get. You can get a difference maker. So there is no debate about this. This is complete stupidity that 33% of people on Twitter X, on ESPN Milwaukee, on our poll, do not believe the Packers should go all in. I'm frustrated. I was literally sitting in the shower today, washing my behind. I had an epiphany. Wow. Yeah, as I was in the shower, go ahead.
So some of the best mind work is
some of the best mind work is in the shower when you're cleaning yourself. And I said to myself, my goodness.
Why'd you have to mention the behind?
Because that's what because if you don't clean behind your ears and your behind, you're dirty. Walk around here smelling like
beehive.
Walk around here smelling like funk.
See, you think the two funkiest areas of the body are the ears and the behind? I hear
there's 3 funky areas. I only mentioned 2. I won't mention the last one.
You're referring to the nether region.
Yes.
Okay.
And then your ears.
The nethers.
Don't wash behind your ears for 2 weeks and then go ahead and swipe right behind your ears. You're gonna smell them like, ooh. Stinks.
That's disgusting.
You're speaking from experience.
Yeah, hell yeah, I am. I didn't wash behind my ears for 3 days, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to do that.
So now you're a dedicated behind-the-ear scrubber.
Always got to. But listen, there's nothing worse than stinking. And so my whole point of this, though, as I was washing my behind in the shower, I had an epiphany about Myles Garrett. Yes, I was in the shower thinking about Myles Garrett and the Green Bay Packers. And I thought to myself, I said, damn it, why are we not going to go all in? It's stupid that we're having this debate.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Do you guys ever watch the show Deal or No Deal? Remember that show?
I have.
I used to love that show. Howie Mandel, giving everyone the fist bump. you play by there's all these briefcases out there of different values, right? And you start opening them up, and then the banker will give you a way to cash out, right? But usually it's like less than what the top amount of the briefcase is. So a lot of people, they don't want to cash out because it's that possibility, that mystery box. Oh boy, I wonder how much could be in that briefcase. I don't want to take the sure thing because who knows what might be in that briefcase. In this situation, the Green Bay Packers are being offered a number way more than what is in the briefcase. But the Packer fans and the people who don't think the Packers should trade whatever it takes for Myles Garrett, we're too fixated on what's behind the briefcase. Oh, it's a first-round draft pick. What's it going to be? I don't know. It could be amazing. I'm gonna cut to the chase with it, right? Brian Gutekunst has not shown an ability, for sure in the first round, you guys know this, KBN Nation, to consistently draft all-pro players in the first round, and he drafts generally B to B plus players. It makes for a really good roster, but nobody like Myles Garrett. You have to go all the way back to 2014 when it was Ted Thompson in the second round who drafted Devontae Adams, maybe D-Bach in 2013, and then all the way back before that, you're probably talking about Aaron Rodgers, before you had really guys that you're saying, okay, this is an all-pro, best at their position in the entire league, even just for 1 year. Myles Garrett has done it for 5 straight years, being the best in his position, being all-pro defensive player of the year. Let me cut to the chase.
4 straight seasons of 14 sacks or more.
Unbelievable. Let me reveal to you, KBN Nation, what is behind that briefcase. It's not Myles Garrett. It's an amount less than what the banker is offering you. So try not to overvalue draft picks, because GMs do this all the time. GMs try to put, they view draft picks as their way to paint the roster, right? They can put their touches on it. Not only are they able to pick their guy, but they get credit. And credit is what GMs want the most, not just success, but also credit. So as I look at this, I'm going to tell you right away, the first round draft picks, the 2 of them that it would take to get Myles Garrett, I can guarantee you they won't be as good as Myles Garrett. What the banker is offering on you, deal or no deal, take it.
Charles Barkley style.
Take the money, KBN Nation. Take the money in Packer Nation, because you won't get it behind those briefcases.
Brad, you cook with that one. You cook with the briefcases and not knowing the mystery, right?
There's an
unknown.
Allure.
Yeah.
There's an allure. But what could those first-round draft picks be? We couldn't possibly not have first-round draft picks. Let me tell you, it's not as interesting, not as good as you think it might be.
It's not too often that you have an opportunity to get somebody as game-changing, as generational talent as a Myles Garrett is. If Goody is presented the opportunity where they say, Goody, we will say yes to that trade offer. If he says, let me think about it, I'm telling you, all hell will break loose in Packer Nation.
I'm telling you, we talked about this yesterday. We're picketing 1265. If that's what it takes, if it's 2 first-round draft picks, we're picking.
Hell yeah, Goody gotta go. Hell yeah, Goody gotta go. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line right here on Kyle Bruston Nortman. And Dirty Diana, what's up? You are on Kyle Bruston Nortman. Are you with us at picketing? Or do you ride at dawn if we don't get Myles Garrett?
First of all, I don't want to hear about you shining your hiney.
Shining your eye.
Dirty Diana. Everybody in KBN Nation is better off and should feel blessed that I just talked about my ass on radio.
Oh, wow. It's a PSA to remember to everyone out there to do it.
Okay, what I want to know, guys, is who are we rooting for the Super Bowl?
Great question, Dirty D. I'm rooting for the Chiefs for 2 reasons. One, I'm that guy. I want to see the three-peat. I do. I want to see history. And I have a hard time rooting for Philadelphia, who, 1, bounced the Packers, and 2, I think their fans are a little bit rough around the edges, a little rude.
Rude.
I'd rather see the Chiefs win and get the three-peat.
Straight narrow Bradley. Can't root for any rude people.
There's none of that. There's no room for that in our sport.
I'm Team Brad, though. I'm also rooting for the Chiefs. I want to see history.
Yeah, I'm cheering for the Chiefs as well, because I'm just salty that the Packers lost to the Eagles, so I don't want to see them win. What was the most raucous crowd that you had to deal with?
Oh, good question. Seattle's up there, especially when they had Legion of Boom. They were very loud, very raucous. Philadelphia, for sure, is also one of them. Kansas City's very loud, very loud. New Orleans, very loud. And those teams were really good when we played there. But I'm going to go with Seattle and Philly and New Orleans as the loudest.
Dang, bumps Green
and the
Bay,
most raw. And Philly was raucous. I mean, we talk about.
Didn't you play in Green Bay?
Green Bay wasn't particularly raucous. Green Bay fans are nice. And I'm a former Wisconsin guy. People are like, hey, go Badgers, Dortmund.
This was probably the crowd in Green Bay that was like, hey, number 8, your wife is hot.
Yeah, that's right. Compliments. You know what was crazy? When I played once at Lambeau Field, okay? My third year in the NFL. It was a beautiful mid-October day, 55-degree, crisp air, leaves changing colors outside. It was wonderful. We took the field and promptly got our butts kicked. We lost by 28, Rodgers to Jordy Nelson, then they scored 3 times. But what was crazy is once a year, the Wisconsin Marching Band plays at Camp Randall Field. And wouldn't you know it,
Field.
That was the day that the Wisconsin Marching Band was there. And there was a bunch of people in the stands saying, hey, Brad, from Wisconsin, go Badgers. So I had a great experience at Lambeau, except losing. But that's what you get.
800-990-3776. Brad basically pooping on the Green Bay Packers. But Josh in Kenosha, you attended a Panthers-Bears game?
I did. October 28th of 2012. The Carolina Panthers were at the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field, and it was a great game, very competitive. Robbie Gould won it on a walk-off field goal. Bears win 23-22. Brad Norman's stats for the game.
Oh, baby.
3 punts for 77 yards.
Ooh,
his long was 36 for the game.
Oh, gosh, Brad.
We've told this story. What was the most memorable punt of the day?
It's the one that you actually pinned inside the 20.
Well, there was one that is more memorable for me. I had a 7-yard shank that game. 7 yards.
That's a little bit more memorable.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, but I didn't want to bash you.
Oh, wow.
I appreciate it.
Well, look at him now.
Yeah.
He's the greatest punter in Carolina Panthers history.
It was,
right?
so you'll remember that day it was freezing cold and super windy. So that was one of the, and punt to Devin Hester. So you get that. That will put any man's heart to fear and be able to shank it out of bounds 7 yards.
Well, Brad, if you lost any type of pride because of what he just reminded you of a terrible day, at 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line, Adam, he said this. He has a compliment for us. The intellect levels of this show has been way up the past 2 days.
Oh, wow. ...
I wonder why.
This is Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN.
He was the lead in the girls softball movie, the Bernstein Bears. What's it called?
800
What?
990
Tom Hanks, that movie. There's no crying in baseball. What was it?
that was a league of their own.
Not Bad News Bears.
The Bernstein Bears, like the book.
Bernstein Bears. Bro, you're done.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota.
Iota. Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct. February is here and love is in the air, but if you're not in love with the way your home feels this winter, Universal Windows Direct has the perfect solution with their Love Your Windows sales event. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Need 4 windows, you pay for 2. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of 3 Tree Marketing. If your company is struggling to create a buzz or just looking for a new way to stand out, our team is here to help point you in the right direction. We'll assist you in building your brand and prove we truly know what works. Experts at 3 Tree can build a one-of-a-kind gifting experience that can set your brand apart and show how much you value your customers as well as your employees. At 3 Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit 3treemarketing.com to learn more about what we can do for you.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So open up, I'm climbing in, so take it easy.
The reception of Kyle Nortman and Strofe has been amazing. First, they tell us how much the show seems more intellectual, and then Don says KBN sounds all manly voices this week, right? Yeah, we love big manly voices.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hair on our chest.
I'm telling you, we are just getting so much love on the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. The Carbless talking text line, where list is more at 800-990-3776. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin. No Ben Brustis today. Again, we'll see if he'll be here this week, as Ben Brust is on the mend as he's recovering from being soft. But fear not, you have myself, Kyle Wallace, and you also have Bradley Nortman and Alex Strofe. And before, we were talking about the Myles Garrett trade and how Brad and I are on the same page, how we believe the Green Bay Packers should absolutely be all in for that. And really, today we're just questioning why, right? Why Goody would not go all in for Myles Garrett at 800-990-3776. Send in your ideas, because on the Carbless Talking text line, that's what a lot of Packers fans are sending right now. You guys are sending in your ideas on why the Packers, or how the Packers should go all in. And according to Matt and Racine, he said, listen, the Packers need to take a page out of the Rams book and say, forget them picks. He said something a little bit more stronger. Forget them picks. This opportunity is so rare, you have to make it happen. And I think that's a great comparison, because we talked about Aaron Donald and how disruptive he was and how impactful he was. And granted, they drafted Aaron Donald, but they went all in by bringing pieces to that team. They brought in a Jalen Ramsey. They brought in a Von Miller. They brought in a Matthew Stafford, all for the sake of doing what? Winning a Super Bowl.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's easy to think that, the Packers have a great young quarterback in Jordan Love, and he's turning 27 next season. It's logical to think the Packers are going to have him for 10 more years, and playing at a a very high to high level. And by doing that, you can lead yourself to believe that there's plenty of opportunity, that we don't need to have a crazy sense of urgency to potentially mortgage the future, the expense of the future for the benefit of today. But I would say we know this Packer team has a playoff caliber roster, that they've got guys on both sides of the ball, but they're lacking a few field tilters. They're lacking a few all-pro guys. And my fear is, the Packers continually look forward, continually protect draft picks, things like that, but at the expense of the present. All these other teams, they're doing whatever it takes to go all in. Trades and restructuring contracts and free agency and of course the draft. And the Packers are doing some of that. But the last true splashy trade where the Packers brought somebody in, I can't even remember when that was. So I would rather see the Packers emphasize the next 2 to 4 seasons with Jordan Love in his peak Super Bowl winning quarterback age prime at the expense of, maybe they don't have the draft capital to be a playoff caliber team in 2030. But the reality is you don't get many wide open windows for you just to walk through. And this is one of those times, but you got to be able to go all in because not 31 other teams, at least 5 other teams that are Super Bowl caliber will be all in.
And that's why this is just a stupid question to me. Like, Stroh, as a true Packer backer like yourself, I mean, you're only second to me with your Packer backer.
True Packer backer, unlike you.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, taking shots here. But as a true Packer backer like yourself, do you find yourself as frustrated as I was just seeing the poll results? Or even, again, I love Jason Wilde, right? I really do. But Jason Wilde wasn't speaking from the heart. He was speaking from what he believed Goody believes, right? If Goody he values draft picks. He doesn't think Goody will do this. He doesn't think Goody will do that. That's why he had the perspective that 2 first-round draft picks were too many to try to trade for a guy like Myles Garrett. Are you frustrated with some of that rhetoric coming out of people saying, well, it might be too much, or the Packers have other things? Are you as mad as I am?
Yeah, what do they say? Growth or something makes the heart grow fonder. What is it? Time, space, distance. Well, the distance from the news has made my heart grow fonder. I've had the opportunity to sleep on this. I've had the opportunity to ponder it, to hem and haw, as some say, a little bit longer. And here's what I've landed on, Kyle. Number one, yes, it would be absolute malfeasance, I believe is a word you told me, to not look into this extensively. Number two, we talked a little bit yesterday about the idea that Mark Murphy would say, hey, I don't want to trade my first-round pick the year we host the draft. He should be fired into the sun if that is
don't let him retire. Don't let him retire. No. The board should fire him.
He should hard
labor.
He should not be employed come draft time if that's said at all, right? The idea that Murphy or anybody in 1265 would say, hey, we don't want to use or trade our first-round pick the year we host the draft. Craziness. Fireable offense. So let's get that out of the way. Now, the final part on this is we've compared the idea of this to Reggie White. Now, we have no clue that it would work out that well, but this is a swing to the level of Reggie White or Charles Woodson that is absolutely
bigger than Charles Woodson.
Yeah, probably.
Bigger than Charles Woodson.
Yeah, it certainly might be. Given the
Charles Woodson wasn't a defensive player of the year. Charles Woodson.
No, he actually was. He won it the year before.
Oh, did he?
In 2009. Yeah.
He won it the year before the Packers got him?
No, he was on the Packers when he won it.
No, I'm talking about he wasn't before the Packers got him.
Oh, true.
He was just a great corner that they claim attitude issues or whatever.
I misunderstood what you're saying.
But Myles Garrett is different.
Would we feel different about these first-round draft picks if Goody was more effective at first-round draft picks? Let me give you a scenario. Let's say he was as effective as the Philadelphia Eagles GM. Now, the last 5 picks, first-round draft picks for the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell, stud. Jalen Carter, stud. Jordan Davis, stud. Devontae Smith, stud. Those last 4 first-round draft picks, all bona fide starters. And
they traded, and I think the one in between there, they traded a first-round pick for A.J. Brown, didn't they? To Tennessee?
Yes, they did. So
they flipped a first-round pick for a guy that's solidified.
We think Goody is really good, and I do. I think he's a really good GM. He's not Howie Roseman. He's the best in the NFL.
Yeah, you're right. So would we feel different if Goody was better at drafting in the first round?
If Goody
or no matter what, no matter who the GM is, no 2 first-round picks are going to equal what Myles Garrett is.
If Goody was good at drafting in the first round, we wouldn't be salivating over the fact that we can get Myles Garrett.
Sure, then they'd be going much further in the playoffs.
Yeah, because Myles Garrett is phenomenal. He's incredible. But if Rashawn Gary Kenny Clark, Lucas Van Ness played up to the potential that we thought they were going to be, we would say, listen, that would be ridiculous if we added him. You're talking about guys who are playing at a high level, right? They're not doing that, so we wouldn't be talking about that.
That's true, and the picks that Goody has gone with is D-line. So if those D linemen actually did hit, we wouldn't even be in this conversation. So it's really Goody's inability to hit D linemen that force us to take this very seriously, because it's a critical position, as you said, Kyle, but Goody's inability to hit first-round draft picks forces us to say, you know what, 2 first-round draft picks equals at least Myles Garrett.
800-990-3776. I'm not going to do it.
I'll do it. No, the thing is, I talk, and KBN Nation comes out in droves to correct me. So,
about what?
Chef Ed chimes in the Carbless Talk and text line, 800-990-3776. Strofe, its absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? So that's one correction. Number 2 correction comes from JJ in Pointed, who says, Strofe, it's malpractice, not malfeasance. You've now repeated that twice. But I just want to sound smart, okay? So number 1, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and 2, it would be absolute malpractice, and it would be malfeasance to not look at this extensively. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Keep them accountable.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. If you want to hold Strofe accountable, you can text in, or if you want to chime in on the conversation, talk about Myles Garrett, definitely hit us up at the Carbless Talking text line at 800-990-3776. But make sure you keep it locked, because coming up next, we have Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher joining us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Oh, no, not Coach Booty. People said yes, good riddance. He didn't do enough.
Not Coach Bud, but Coach Booty.
They call him Booty, Bud?
Did they call him Booty?
Bud. You know, when I said Booty.
Only his friends call him Booty.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino.
Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins is bringing back their famous 2-foot party subs. Whether it's for a big game, family gathering, or work celebration, Cousins 2-foot party sub is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. Order today through February 9th in store, online, or on their app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Maddie's Bar and Grill, Papa Stash, Tavern on 6, Joe Cat's Pub, Camp Bar Wauwatosa, Maxwell's, Thirsty Buck, State Street Pizza, and Stenny's Lake Country. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mark Tauscher on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is brought to you by Fleet Farm. Remember, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, then you don't need it.
You know what that means. We're not listening to Natasha Bedingfield. That's her name.
That is her name.
We are listening to her.
Then we are. That's exactly
we're not. Well, I guess we are, but we're not here to listen to her. We're here to listen to Mark Tauscher. Mark Tauscher from Wilde and Tausch. You can hear them weekdays, 9 until noon, every day on ESPN Wisconsin. No Ben today. Welcome in.
Well, that's the best news I've heard all week.
Man. You know, Mark, I just want to say.
Call him Tausch.
Tausch, I'm sorry. Yeah, I become so
Mark.
Professional. Yeah, I know. I call you Bradley. I call him Mark.
Yeah, loosen up.
Let me loosen up. Tausch, I do want to say, I know you and Ben were beefing last week, and I just want to say, I want to, put out the olive branch to say.
No. I want to make sure to let you know. And I saw your guys, Tausch is saying that Benny was a Bears fan. What other person do you know that spends their whole life as a Bears fan? Coach Gard and him rivaled the entire time he was at Wisconsin as a Bears fan. So he's 23 years in, and then you just flip a coin and switch? So I know he's like, that's what they always do. No. It's really odd for a grown adult after college to change allegiances to your bitter arch rival. Don't we think that's weird?
Yeah, it is questionable behavior.
Yeah, anything short of an epiphany makes it hard to.
It seems really, it seems goofy to me. Somebody should do a little digging on that. Like, why did that happen, and how did it happen? Because I can assure you, I could move to Chicago, I could move to Utah. I ain't gonna be a Bears fan ever.
I think you just drank the water and said, "Boy, it's a little bit better over here." That's the only explanation.
Know, there's something there. I'd love to dig a little deeper, but we'll do that with Benny if he ever comes back on air.
If he ever comes back. That's a huge if. And another huge if is if and when will Goody make a trade for Myles Garrett, Tausch? I mean, for one, I know you're big on the Packers making some moves this offseason, but overall, I just want to know from you. You've been on this Devontae Adams, trade train. Who would you rather see? Would you rather see the Packers go all in for Devontae Adams or go all in for Myles Garrett, and why?
Okay, so I went through it yesterday. Like the Myles Garrett news breaks at, 9:45. So we have 2 hours and some change to discuss. And I went from, oh my God, this will be incredible, because
hold on, Tausch. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tausch. I know Ben usually is the one that cuts you off, but he found a way to actually cut you off.
Well, am I live? Am I on the radio?
Oh, no. Can I finish my thought?
You know what Ben does?
I already heard this thought. You did this thought with Evan Cohen this morning on Wilde and Tausch at 9:30.
And just jump in. Anyways, Devontae is somebody I think you're going to be able to get at a decent price and fits a big void. Myles Garrett, there's just too much there. I would love for him to be playing. I'd love to see 95 coming off the edge in the opener next year, but you're going to have to give up multiple big picks. You're going to have to pay him top dollar when you've already paid Rashawn Gary, and I don't think they want to allocate that many resources. So as much as I'd love to see it, I don't think it's going to happen. Devontae's much more reasonable. Okay, Ben, I'm glad that you could join your own show.
No, I mean, it was good. I actually agree with this. I got to hear you, Evan Cohen, and Jason Wilde go over this exact scenario earlier in the day as I was driving around getting healthy.
Driving around getting healthy? Don't you, have chicken noodle soup and have a thermometer out of your mouth and you're just, waiting to get back? You're driving around in your...
No, I had to get a script, man. This flu is no joke. They had to call in this Tamiflu, and it's brought me back to life. And enough life that I'm here to call and talk to you.
Do you ever get sick of talking in circles?
But Ben is doing his other duties, and he's calling into our show just to talk to Tausch, not even talk to us.
What a hero. Wow.
No, I think Brad's actually upset because I want to talk to you more than I actually want to engage with Kyle and Brad.
Yeah, exactly. We've been here all day, Benny. We can talk if you want to, but no. The floor is yours for Tausch.
Any questions for him?
Here's the deal, Tausch. My favorite thing is yes, back in the day, did I root for the Chicago Bears? Absolutely. But when you are in a state in which you realize that all the people that rooted for you root for the Packers, then you live here for the majority of your adult life, when your brain's not fully developed, you're brainwashed into thinking you know everything when you're born in a family that is bananas and roots for the Chicago Bears. I've come to the realization as an adult living in the state that it's not worth rooting for a bunch of losers. As Homer would say, I'm a homer, but I'm not a dummy. And I'm not a dummy either. I'm not going to root for a horrible organization run by somebody who they're hoping is going to die in Virginia McCaskey.
Wow.
Then George McCaskey's running the team. That's literally what the conversations are on ESPN 1000. It's dumb, it's stupid, and I want nothing to do with it. I've disassociated myself with that horrid franchise. It stinks to high heavens. Matt LaFleur is 11-1. Why would I root for something where everyone's excuse and reason for optimism is the word hope? And you of all people would know, Tausch, hope is not a strategy.
No. Here's the deal, and if you had played for the Packers or something, you went as a Badger the whole time. People were rooting for you. People loved your brother as a big star. Everybody was pulling for you. You're still rooting for the Bears when you're chasing Final Four championships. You are still pulling for the Bears. You're betting your assistant coach jersey wears. So I just think, and I didn't put any predispositions on it. All I said was, you're the only person I know that has ever made this transformation that went from a full-fledged – there's people that get married to Packer fans.
It takes a lot of gumption
with
their
Bears.
You should respect that.
No, I just think it's convenient. I don't know what to think. All I am asking is for an investigation. I really want to dig deeper to how this happened because it's unprecedented. There is nobody on earth that has done what you've done. That's all I'm saying. I can't
All
think
right.
of one.
I would love for you to be the judge, jury, and executioner, and now I leave to go put the thermometer back in my mouth.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh, Benny, get out of here. Get well soon, Ben. Get where you get
black lung pop.
Bring me back some souvenirs from wherever the hell you're at, Benny.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
what a guy. And I can't believe I sat up there and I defended him last week.
He hung up.
I can't believe that.
Well,
but Tausch, back to what people were.
How sick do you think Ben really is? He's driving around getting Tamiflu. He's calling
sounded
in.
okay to me.
I don't know, dude.
He sounded very healthy to me.
Sounded very fresh to me, too.
Yeah, he sure did. So, Tausch, we were talking about Myles Garrett a little bit more as we started the show, and you're an analogy guy, and I threw out this analogy, and I first of all, I want you to grade it, but then also to respond to my question, which is going to come from it. This is like Deal or No Deal. You ever watch Deal or No Deal, Tausch?
Yeah, good show.
Love Deal or No Deal. Yep. You know, the allure of what's behind that briefcase, sometimes that tricks us into thinking that we got to see it, we got to open it. We can't possibly take what the banker is going to offer us, which is a sure thing, that temptation and allure of, man, I just got to see what that briefcase is. I can't depart with it. That's what it's like with first-round draft picks and draft picks in general for me. That allure, the question mark, the potential, what that could be, sometimes that is We overvalue that compared to the sure thing. And in this case, the banker is offering us more money than that's even in the briefcases and Myles Garrett. So, one, what do you think of the analogy? And two, do you just think that we overvalue draft picks? Because I get we're going to have to pay Myles Garrett a lot, but wouldn't you think that you would take the sure thing, all-pro, best player at his position, as opposed to two alluring, yes, but big question marks on what any given first-round draft pick would be?
Well, I think you could look at it from a couple of perspectives. Yes, the sure thing is always great, but there's more to have, and people are greedy. And if you get Myles Garrett, do you think that's going to put you over the top? But you could have $1 million case or a $500,000 case that's sitting there, and Myles Garrett's at $250,000, and you're going to win a division. You're going to do it. You don't know. If you can find an Abdul Carter or some of these young players, the Micah Parsons, and get 5 years on that value, that's the give and take. And when you do this and you take the guarantee, like Myles Garrett is, you're giving up 2 briefcases, and you're probably, whatever's in your briefcase, you're also having to give money to pay there. So you're taking a lot of that guarantee and you're giving it away, whereas a lot of people like gambling.
Tausch, the thing is that when we do this, and me and you both, we appreciate what Goody has done, because regardless of what he has not done in the first round, he has made up for it for rounds after, right? And he also got Jordan Love. But to keep with the analogy of the briefcase, when you open up both those briefcases of the first round, where everybody else, or not everybody else, some other people are getting $1 million in the briefcase, other people are getting $100,000 in the briefcase, the Green Bay Packers are getting $50,000 in the briefcase. They're not getting what you want to get out of that briefcase. So it is more worth the risk of, again, in Goody's track record of just passing on these first round picks to get a guy where is a generational talent.
It comes down to how many briefcases you got to give up. If it's one briefcase, I couldn't agree more.
So you think so you're saying 2 first-round picks is too much?
I don't know. I think if you're going to give up 2 firsts and more, because I don't think this thing's going to be opened up to everybody, then you also have to pay. Myles Garrett's not going to come here and play on the contract that he has. He's going to want more money.
So how is it that all these other teams can just throw money at people, but the Green Bay Packers have to be all tight with their money?
Not everybody's paying $55 million a year for their quarterback. Not Jaden Daniels is on a rookie deal for 3 more years. Not everybody's got offensive tackles that are not making big time money yet. Not everybody's got, the instance where you look at the wide receiving corps from Green Bay, you have that. But when you look at it, you have to figure out how you're paying Rashawn Gary almost top of the dollar. Are you going to put 60-some odd million into 2 spots?
I mean, it's already. Brad, talk about the fact
shorting other spots.
Brad, talk about the fact that you already said the D line already makes up like 25% of the cap.
Yeah, the D line makes up about 23% of the cap, plus 3 first-round draft picks that Goody's invested into it. So if Goody would have nailed it across the board earlier on, like drafted guys that are like Jalen Carter and all those guys, then we wouldn't have to have this conversation. But you're right, he's invested a lot into the O-line already, or the D-line already, and it would be hard-pressed to put even more into it. One more question that I wanted to pivot before we let you go, because we were talking about this yesterday, and the Luka trade, right? Luka for AD. Boy, that shatters about any possibility that you think that there's no chance Giannis leaves Milwaukee. Look into your crystal ball, Tausch. What's more likely? Do you think that Giannis ends his career, retires as a Buck, or is traded and does not end his career as a Buck?
I think he's going to finish his career as a Buck.
I like that.
I'm hoping, because I think his loyalty and what he's done, but the Bucks have to continue to put this team in a position to win, and if they don't, I could see them saying, Giannis saying, I need a different direction. But as we sit here now, I hope that's not the case, and that's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, well said.
I hope so too, Tausch. Well, thank you so much, Tausch, for joining us here today. We apologize for Ben busting in, even though he's not here today, busting in and breaking up your segment today.
Yeah, I know. It totally threw me off, but we'll be all right. I'll live.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to you again, and hopefully Ben Bruss will be more respectful next time. That is Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer, also host of Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin, which you can hear right here on these networks from 9 a.m. until 12 weekdays. So if you got something on your mind.
These networks, yeah, well, it came to my attention today that Ben Brust also at home, allegedly sick, the day that Gina Della and her wonderful team from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin show up to do the install and assess. So just conveniently has the flu on a day where the wonderful team from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin shows up.
So that's what we're doing, huh? Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't fault Ben Brust 1 minute for that, because if I had the opportunity to be in my house and see it transform before my very eyes with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, I would probably also call in sick. That's because the transformation that Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin gives your home is unlike any other. You're going to be able to keep your home nice and warm, nice and toasty in these cold months. And in the summertime, you can bet that cold air is going to stay inside. Increases your home value, decreases your energy costs. And Pella Windows and Doors, they can do any project, whether it be craftsmanship, style, color. They can meet you exactly where you're at. Now, Pella is going to be at the NARI Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th to February 16th. So if you want to see it with your own eyes, you want to see the $22 per month per window and the $89 per month for a door and the 10-year Pella install guarantee, you can see it all at that home improvement show, February 14th to the 16th. Enjoy it. You'll be thankful that you went with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, fellas, I came to a conclusion this weekend after being with maybe my future father-in-law over the weekend.
Only maybe, huh?
I love my girl, but I ain't spending $3 on her.
All I know is men need women. I'll tell you why next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Milwaukee County, you need to shovel the pathway to the lake, okay? I had to step through snow in order to get to the lake.
I think Kyle's the Karen of the show.
I think
he's high maintenance, for sure.
I think Kyle pays taxes in the county of Milwaukee that just went up, so I expect for this stuff to be piled.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys
turnovers.
being serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it.
I did not get it. They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnovers.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $1,000 in cash prizes available. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at TPC Scottsdale, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through February 28th. Your winter chance to play TPC Scottsdale awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct, and they have the Love Your Windows sale going on now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. It's the perfect way to save big. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
It's the perfect Valentine's heart.
The kind a schoolboy would draw. It's the most adorable pendant we've ever created.
Innocent, fun-loving, and sweeter than honey.
Cute, cute, cute.
It's cherry red ceramic that's been through the fire.
We've been making ceramic jewelry for thousands of years.
Seriously?
Google it.
But this ceramic heart has things they didn't know about thousands of years ago.
Like what?
Diamonds. 18 of them.
These created diamonds were made for the one who sparkles like the sun.
I can see her in my mind right now.
It's the perfect Valentine's gift.
And it's only $128 at Kessler's.
Monica, what else do we have?
We have 4 different ways to say I love you.
Each pendant is a different shape covered in diamonds.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
An oval. a square with rounded corners, a teardrop, and a heart.
Your choice, just $148 at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Joe and the Boonies here on KBN. Kyle Bruston Norman on ESPN Wisconsin. He has his thoughts on Ben Bruss. He says, listen, Benny Bruss day off, more like Ferris Bueller, but less street smart. Speaking of smart, I think he's ducking trivia today. His confidence is shook.
I've got him rattled, boys. I've got him rattled. He's lost 3 in a row, and he has tied or lost each of his last 5.
So say he hasn't won in 2025 yet,
He
right?
has not. He is 0-3-1 in the calendar year.
Speaking of winning in 2025, I took an L this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I took an L in the Walls household. I realized I thought I was the king of the castle, but that is not the case. My lovely, lovely girlfriend's father came in town, who I adore so much. And he came to my house this weekend, and the man walked in my house, Brad, and he didn't take his shoes off.
No.
He walked into the whole house with his shoes on. He went into the guest bedroom with his tennis shoes on. And Bradley, let me tell you something. He went into my real castle, my real throne, which is my bathroom with my toilet. And he walked all up and down my bathroom where I take showers at and I take my time to do my thing at. He walked in there with his shoes on, Brad. It's filthy. Yeah, his shoes on. I realized he's a single man. He left the toilet seat up, and he has he has daughters. And I thought to myself, this man, just like the rest of us men, we are nothing without women. We are disgusting without women. I just couldn't believe myself when I went to the bathroom after him in the toilet seat with him. I said, what is this?
But they are who we thought they were.
I mean, that makes my stomach turn, Kyle. You know what? Women, you hate to admit it, or maybe you like to admit it, but either way, it's a fact that women are what prevent us men from just being beasts of the field and the wilderness. Because I firmly believe there's a part of our brain as men, it's just not activated until there's a woman around to keep you accountable, make you think about certain things. I'm a pretty clean dude to start with, but I never even considered things until I've actually lived with Lexi and started to become more domesticated. And now I just look at the filth of men that don't have a woman in their life to be able to point them in the right direction. And I'm unsettled by it, Kyle.
Some of my single friends, when I used to go to their houses, I'd be like, bro, I don't even want to sit down. Like, what is this? You didn't clean up before I got here? You got cigarette ashes or other ashes sitting here just in different places. You got juice sitting here on the counter. I open up your fridge and I get a whiff of disgusting smell. I mean, I love being domesticated. I really do, because the lifestyle I lived before, my brother going to his house, I would walk in his house and I'm like, what? Why is there pee all over the toilet seat, bro? What's going on? Learn how to aim.
Totally. Like, there's a
Learn how to aim.
There's a certain level of like ignorance is bliss beforehand, maybe, because think about in college, right? Or before potentially, you lived or were married to a woman. You didn't think about these things. But then when you're taught them, you're exposed to them. There's a whole new light shined on this whole new area of man living, and that's cleanliness, and you don't even think about it. So, but now once as you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, not at all. And I just realized, like, even though she'll tell me, hey, don't do this, don't do that, won't say a peep to her daddy. You know, when I brought it up to her, you know what she said? Well, he helped with this around the house, or he helped us pay for that. I said, oh, okay. All right, well, I guess you got two kings of the castle. One who lived here every day and somebody who threw us some cash or some stuff. Now he can just do whatever the hell he wanted in my house.
You know, if you were the king of the castle, Kyle, you'd say, Mr. Baby? Mr. Baby?
Oh, yeah.
I'd appreciate it if you take your damn shoes off.
You know, I just looked at her when he walked.
Mr. Baby girl?
He got up and he walked away, and I looked at her and I looked down at his shoes and, "Are you going to say something?" She said, "It's my dad."
So
I'm like,
look, I can understand if Mr. Baby Girl is walking through the kitchen, but to walk in your bathroom?
Walked in my bathroom
like
and shoes.
At that point, you got to say, enough's enough.
Brad, I don't think y'all understand is that as soon as he left, he spent the night. As soon as he closed the door, you know what I did? I said, I can't believe you let that man walk around my house like that. And I immediately went to the closet and got the Swiffer and started Swiffering the bathroom. And my house smells delicious.
So you started an argument.
I didn't start an argument. No, I didn't start an argument. She knew what it was. She knew the entire time.
How does Baby Girl feel about it? Does she prefer those shoes off as well?
She prefers it, but since it's her dad,
Mr. Baby
he
Girl.
can just do whatever he wants. Listen, my family, they come to the house. First thing they know, I say, take them shoes off. I can't say to her dad. I ain't got time for him to be judging me like that. Because when if and when I ask a question, I can't have him just in the back of his head thinking, oh, well, he can't. He made me take my shoes off. My house smells delicious right now because I did use the Swiffer.
Oh, I mean, the Swiffer's powerful. And you should use the Swiffer because there is hundreds of millions of germs and bacteria on the bottoms of shoes. That is a disturbing issue in that household.
Before we proceed, I want to know this because me and Brad, we've been with our ladies for a little bit, but Strofe, you recently just moved in with your woman, or I don't know if you moved in. You're kind of just mooching off of her. You're not on a leash. You're mooching off her.
That's fine.
You're just,
crashing.
You're a scrub. You know that's what they call you, a scrub. TLC called you a scrub. That's what you are.
I don't want no scrubs.
We don't want no scrubs.
Scrub is a guy that can't take no love from me.
Somehow your girl likes a scrub. But listen to this, though, Strofe. This is what I want to know.
Watch it.
Wow.
But Strofe, when did you have this epiphany? When did you come to the realization that you as a man can't survive without your woman, or you weren't domesticated?
What a way to frame that question.
Knowing you, I know you were filthy.
Yeah, I'm sure you could survive, but
am.
you couldn't survive in high society.
Well, here's the
distinguished
thing.
society.
The nice thing about having a girlfriend who also has ADHD is I can be a little messy and we can both live within chaos. Like I'm not very bad. I'm not great though. Brad, you're giving me quite a look right now.
I mean, I'm wondering what this household looks like.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Does he have to step over anything? Will you say this when you walk in? Wait.
Other than a dog gate, no. I mean,
okay.
She keeps it pretty tidy.
Is there anything in the
out.
sink right now?
In terms of dishes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Wait a minute. Do you have to say, oh, we apologize, sorry for...
Well, she'll do that. I would never.
Okay, so that means there's
I don't
stuff
give a
places.
damn. Judge me. I don't care.
What was the biggest thing that she said?
I live here. This isn't a model house.
What was the biggest thing she said?
You're not touring the house you're going to buy.
I see you're doing this. It's gotta stop.
Great question. Now, this is a good one. Two of them, specifically. One I've mentioned before. So I actually broke this thing over the weekend. It was an accident. I promise it wasn't on purpose. But we have a thing with two laundry hampers in the bathroom right next to the shower.
Oh, okay.
And I constantly take my clothes off, get in the shower, and never put them in the hamper. They sit right next to the hamper.
Up.
Yeah. The other one
you don't live by yourself anymore.
The other one is...
So you leave them on the bathroom floor?
Yeah, but now I can do that because I broke the thing that the hampers hang on.
Gosh.
So that one was on me. The other one is putting the lid, not the seat, but the lid to the toilet down.
Oh, you put everything down. You don't want
usually just put the
fecal
seat
matter and all the bacteria. Listen, we got to continue. Oh, my gosh.
Have you seen the footage of a slow motion, like colorized flush? If it's open... It's disgusting.
So, honestly, Brad, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking when I go into the bathroom, you know me, I'm very germaphobe. I legitimately, I wanted to cover my face up when I went in there because I know he flushed the toilet. And, you know, baby girl's dad's just, pee matter is everywhere around here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one big one for me that Lexi educated me on.
800-990-3776. I thank y'all. I just really need to get that off my chest. I really need to get that off my chest. Todd and Franklin, we'll end with you. Didn't need a woman to make me non-slob. Tell me more.
I didn't need a woman to not be a slob. I was pretty clean before I met my wife. Okay, she might have made it a little cleaner, but I wasn't a slob. It sounds to me like you two were both slobs.
No, it wasn't a slob.
There's got to be something. There's no way a man's walking into a relationship just as or more clean than his lady. What was it? Todd was the name of it? But what was the thing that your wife, girlfriend made you change? Got to be something.
Okay, I cleaned the bathroom more. But I was already pretty clean with it.
Oh, Todd.
So she's not okay with the soap scum building up.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, Todd.
Well, there's a distinguished clean man right there.
Sure, Todd. All right. 800-990-3776. I keep it 100.
Sounds like Kyle's a doubter.
I've been improved by my lady. But 800-990-3776, the Carpless Talking text line where less is more. We want to hear from you on this conversation because obviously Strofe is in denial about himself being a slob and the fact that it's probably annoying his girl all of the time. You're like Todd, in denial. 800-990-3776. That is the Talking text line. Mike and Manitowoc will get to you on the other side. This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
When two equally powerful opposing forces meet,
this is one of the best rivalries in the NBA.
Something has to give. These collisions can make entire cities shake. For centuries, the world's leading minds have tried to describe these cataclysmic events. The National Basketball Association calls it Rivals Week. NBA Rivals Week. Heat versus Bucks and Celtics versus Lakers. Thursday from 7:30 Eastern on TNT.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is hour 2 of Kyle Bruston-Nortman right here on ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Beaver Dam. I am Kyle Wallace. He is Bradley Nortman. Alex Strofe holding it down on the ones and the twos. No Ben Brust today as he is taking a fake day off. Somehow he's doing work for his other job that he has here at ESPN Wisconsin, but not for us. Also, shout out to Hunter and shout out to Ryan, ESPN Madison crew here today. Y'all doing well? Look, they're excited to.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. We're hanging out.
Is it more fun here in Milwaukee than it is in Madison?
I mean, since Ben isn't here, absolutely.
Hey,
good answer.
I like you. How you doing, Wally?
I like you.
How you doing?
Ask that question one more time. I didn't have
I just said,
headphones
how
on.
you doing? That's it.
I'm doing better now. Hunter's not standing between my legs because it's a little crowded back here. He finally moved back.
Was that the most action you've gotten in since the closest you got?
There's not 90 miles separating us anymore, Kyle. Now there's just a pane of glass.
So, what are you going to do?
I'll walk in there.
I mean, between you and Strofe, you both don't weigh as much as me, and I ain't that big.
No, but you know that both of us could gas you out of that studio right now.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I'm a grown man. I don't know what he meant.
I think that means fart.
It means I went to 3rd Street Market Hall for the first time and I got a burrito. And today, you don't want to talk to me.
Can I just talk? Can I just?
Wooly, that's the threat.
Time out.
The threat.
This is the threat. Why? And we're definitely gonna get to you, Mike and Manitowoc, and we're definitely gonna finish this conversation talking about how women make us men more whole. Right?
That's a sentence.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But I went out on Stroh's birthday, right? And on Stroh's birthday, this is the first time me and Ryan are hanging out, and I walk up there and I smell something funny. I'm like, ooh, it kind of stank around here. I don't know what it is. I feel like somebody crop dusted me, right? And so then later on, I'm sitting down at the table, we're chatting it up, talking, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what in the hell is that smell? And Ryan said, dude, like I ate something. I said, no. We sitting at the table with women and you just out here tooting it up. And then you use the threat of tooting it up right now. You have a problem.
What it's called is a callback, Kyle, because I want to call back to Stroh's birthday. All right? It's called good radio. You can learn something.
And thanks. Thank you.
It's called good radio.
It's called suffocating people with your stankness. But 800-990-3776. That is the Carpless Talking text line. Make sure you watch and stream us live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button as we are on our way to 10K at ESPN Milwaukee. But then on top of that, make sure you hit that like button as well. On the previous side, we were talking about the fact that my girlfriend's dad came into town and he acted like he owned the place, man. He walked up and down my house with his shoes on. He even went in my bathroom with his shoes on and left the toilet seat up. And I realized at that very moment that we men cannot survive without women. 800-990-3776. That is the Carpless Talking text line. Mike in Manitowoc. Sloppiness with women.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, but I do have a comment on Myles Garrett.
Go right ahead.
So, a little perspective. In 93, the Packers signed Reggie White. In 94, they traded for Sean Jones. So now they have both ends of the D-line set. 94, they also drafted Gabe Wilkins. So now they got help in the middle. They drafted Bryce Pop as a DN/linebacker, somewhat a good player, better than marginal. My perspective is this. You can sign Myles Garrett, but unless you're going down the road and looking for additional help, which the Packers need, you're only solving one piece of the problem.
What do you mean additional help? Don't you think somebody like Myles Garrett makes the defense that much better? You're talking about a Green Bay Packers defense that was top 10 in scoring, and then on top of that, this Green Bay Packers total defense against the run, much better. So the defense isn't that far off, right? We have pieces and holes we need to fill, but I don't know about you, Brad. I feel like getting a Myles Garrett makes not having a Jair Alexander okay. Getting a Myles Garrett all of a sudden makes your linebacking core that much better. Getting a Myles Garrett all of a sudden makes a Rashawn Gary that much better. Thinking about what Brian Bulaga said yesterday, he's talking about you're sending 2 or 3 guys to focus on Myles Garrett. You're going through practice focus on where is 95 going to be. What that could mean for a Devontae Wyatt, a Kenny Clark, a Kingsley Enagbare, a Rashawn Gary, that could mean leaps and bounds for this defense overall as a whole.
Yeah, it guarantees that all those guys that you just mentioned, Kyle, they're going to get single teamed. When you need to double or even triple team Myles Garrett, you need to be able to focus your protection toward him and everybody else benefits. So, yeah, they're not all pro guys and pro bowlers, but they're going to benefit too. KBN Sports Text with Alex Strofe.
Thank you, Bradley, for the introduction. Kyle, I noticed you just said something. Are you giving away Devontae Wyatt's jersey number prematurely to our guy in Cleveland, Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett has enough money to buy that off him.
So you think Devontae Wyatt, after 3 years of wearing 95, would just give it up?
He should. Yeah, he should.
If you asked me before the show, What's Devontae Wyatt's number? I'm not sure. I'd guess 95. I don't think I'd even know it. That's how
have to think about
that's
it.
That's how much meaningful attachment 95 is to Devontae Wyatt.
Brad, you were number 8 in Carolina, correct?
Correct.
Let's say they bring in, I know this timeline doesn't really make any sense, but we're going to use it anyway. Let's say they bring in, I'm trying to think of a quarterback that wore 8.
Steve Young.
Kyle
How about
Steve
Aaron
Young?
Rodgers wants to come
Aaron
in
Rodgers.
and wear number 8.
How are you handling that after wearing it for 3 years? That means all of your family already owns your jersey with the number 8 on it. You own multiple jerseys of your own that have the number 8 on it. What's your bargain there?
I would appreciate a little remuneration, a little cash.
Okay, let's use words the general public would understand.
Money. I would take money.
Brad rubbed his fingers together, and that's how I just assumed that's what remuneration was.
I don't know what my asking price would be. I want to say,
knowing you would say, I don't know, Aaron. I mean, $1,000 in a signed football for my family.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Patsy. I think the bidding would start at probably 20.
There's only one bidder.
Yeah. Well, I would probably say $25K.
Well, you wouldn't say, "Hey, Aaron, what would you give me?"
But I wouldn't put it. I want to at least, because Aaron's gonna manipulate my mind into like me paying him to be like, don't you want number 8 to be associated with not only Brad Nortman but Aaron Rodgers? I am doing you a favor, Brad, by letting me, Aaron Rodgers, wear your number 8. You are elevated by it. You are associated with me for your whole lifetime. Therefore, you pay me $5,000 to let me wear your number 8.
You do realize if you actually charged Aaron Rodgers for number 8, he would talk bad about you. You would have been in that documentary he had.
He'd be like, "Yeah,
that
there's
bad
this,
energy I got,
punter that making me pay for wearing number 8." Does he know who I am?
Exactly. He said, I don't even know the guy. Don't even know who that is. 800-990-3776. We were talking about on the other side how my girlfriend's dad came into town and he basically took over the place. And Jake in Milwaukee, you're saying this is something that I should get used to?
Yep. I've been married for 6 years. I've been dating I've been with my wife for 10 years. We've been together. Cool. It still happens to this day. So guess what? Just get used to it because you're not going to win that battle. So might as well just give up.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Jake.
That's not a very encouraging call, Kyle.
Sucker.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about a Wallace. Wallace are not quitters, okay? We're not quitters.
You couldn't even grow the gumption to say, "Hey, Mr. Baby Girl, could you please take your shoes off in the house I pay for? And put a roof over your baby girl's head?"
As our relationship grows, and
how many times have you seen this guy? I mean, it's multiple, right? You've been together a while.
Fantastic. I mean, the crazy thing is when he came to the door, he had wine in his hand because he owns a winery, and so part owner of the winery, and so he had wine in his hand, and so I kind of felt bad to ask a man to take off his shoes when he had wine in his hand.
That is such a small thing to ask somebody.
I know, seriously, what's the concern?
Well, he was carrying it in, right? And he was carrying it, hey,
Yeah, let him bring it to the kitchen and say, "Hey, Mr. Baby Girl, you mind taking off your shoes?"
I felt bad. You know when people come in, they keep talking. He was like, he dropped it off. He was talking, and really, I didn't have a moment to tell him anything.
But Kyle, here's how you got to frame it. You got to frame it like you're doing him a favor, like Aaron Rodgers style. You got to say, "Hey, Mr. Baby Girl, kick back, relax, take your shoes off, and stay a while." You got to make it feel like you're doing him a favor. Relax a little bit. Mr. Baby Girl would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to tell Mr. Baby Girl quite like that yet, because just in case, Mr. Baby Girl turns into Mr. Father-in-law, I need Mr. Baby Girl to remunerate our bank account for a wedding.
Very well done.
Does that work? Okay, so I got to play my cards right, fellas. I got to play my cards right.
Hey. Wait, would Mr. Baby Girl still be Mr. Baby Girl if he's Mr. Father-in-law? He would still be Mr. Baby Girl. Because Baby Girl would still be Baby Girl even if she's wifey.
Yeah. When we cross that bridge, I guess I'll figure it out. I haven't thought that far, fellas. I'm just trying to make sure Mr. Baby Girl is happy.
I got bad news for you. You're hosting Mr. Baby Girl for the weekend. It sounds like you should maybe be thinking about making Miss Baby Girl Mrs. Baby Girl.
One day, it'll come. It'll come. They'll all jump for joy and rejoice that she finally has my last name.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's going to be they're going to jump for joy and rejoice.
Hell yeah. He can't wait to get his daughters off of him. She's yours now, Kyle.
She lives under your roof, brother. I don't think a ring changes that.
That's true. That's 100% true. But 800-990-3776. I lost that battle. But that is the Carbless Talking text line. Definitely chime in. But we're talking about, loved ones and different things that may break our hearts sometimes, seeing somebody walk in our house and we can't stop them from taking their shoes off. Something that we can't stop is the Wisconsin Badgers continuing to fall and fade and absolutely be meaningless. We'll talk about that a little bit more as Brad Nortman, the former Wisconsin punter great, is going to let you know why the Wisconsin Badgers just need to accept their ultimate fate of sorriness.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl. Yeah. And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We are seeing some delays westbound 94 from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's looking pretty good at this point. As a matter of fact, the rest of this freeway system's looking okay. We do have an issue on Highway 100 southbound. This is just about at Burleigh. The two left lanes are blocked with this crash, so watch out for those delays to start really cropping up right now. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low of 23. Tomorrow, cloudy with an afternoon light mix, a high of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lozgan, 94.5 ESPN.
The 11th annual Big Cheese Classic is coming. On February 8th and 9th, this wheelchair basketball tournament brings top talent from across the nation to Wisconsin. Powered by the Wisconsin Adaptive Sports Association, this exciting event at Pewaukee High School promises to be a thrilling showcase of athleticism, competition, and inspiration. For more information, please call 262-613-7040 or email Melissa at wasa.org.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. First wash free for new members only.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Cheer on Milwaukee Panthers women's basketball for an exciting weekend of hoops action at the Kolache Center. On Thursday, Milwaukee takes on Robert Morris with tip-off at 6, followed by a Saturday matinee with Youngstown State at 2. Tickets for Panthers women's basketball games are just $7, and seats are up close to all the action. That's Panthers women's basketball on Thursday at 6 and Saturday at 2. Score your seats at mkepanthers.com. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, I'm getting lit up kind of on the text line. I don't even know what's happening here. What is Wooly doing in here for? He just coming to kick it?
Wow, what's up, Wooly? Little in-person experience, no longer behind the glass. You're in the game.
Yeah, all I said to Kyle when I walked in is, I hope you got some air freshener in here, man.
He did. Wow. Are you cleared to be like in the studio? This ain't Madison, buddy.
I'm cleared for the Madison studio. I mean, they kind of got used to the smell, I would say. So it's just like, you don't even notice at some point.
Oh, okay. Well,
you are a disgusting individual.
Thank you. Where do you think I learned it from?
This goes back to men needing women. We got to clean you up, Wooly.
Yeah. You are a huge case.
Yeah, I mean,
huge case.
Literally and metaphorically, yes, someone needs to clean me up.
Matter of fact, now that you're in Milwaukee, I might have somebody for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I may.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in the break.
We'll do that. We'll definitely do that. But 800-990-3776. And listen, Brad let me know some news about the Wisconsin Badgers today that was disheartening. And I'm still thinking about the conversation from about 2-3 weeks ago where Brad Nortman, Ben Bruss, and Gary Ellison, who joins us on Fridays at 4:45. Sometimes. He's on a 3-week hot streak. And y'all let me know that the Badgers were going nowhere fast, that I should absolutely get rid of any hope. And then Brad told me some news today that made me finally come to the realization that it might be over for the Badgers.
Yeah, Kyle, it doesn't bring me any pleasure whatsoever because, as I've said to KBN Nation, the Wisconsin Badgers are my number one team that I root for, the number one team that still jostles with my heart. And seeing the Badgers in the state they are in brings me nothing but sadness. And I continue that sadness today when I see a name that might not mean much to you, but it should, and I'll tell you why. Max Steinecker, okay? He was the general manager for the Wisconsin football team, right? He was with Coach Fickell in Cincinnati, and he moved with him to Wisconsin. He was the youngest general manager in college football history. He's only 25 years old, but that just goes to show how impressive he is at his job. Max Steinecker, general manager of the Wisconsin football team, has been plucked and is going to USC. And in conference, I wouldn't call it a rival, but they're an in-conference Big Ten opponent.
We can't keep nobody.
And here's the thing. You might say, okay, well, you're saying general manager. What does that even mean? Guys, in this new NIL era, general manager is second to only the head coach in importance when it comes to recruiting. Not only high school, but transfer portal, fundraising, a matter of like really being on the ground, being the eyes and ears of the program that's stirring things up behind the scenes, recruiting, funding, NIL money, portal. Basically, they are the general manager, as the name states, and the right-hand man to the head coach. USC identified that this Max Steinecker is so good, so ascending, that they got to have him over there. And what does Wisconsin do? The problem is Wisconsin cannot compete. They can't keep Max here, even though he has loyalty to Coach Fickell. Still, even with that being said, they still paid him enough to move him from Wisconsin to USC. This is going to hurt recruiting. This is going to hurt NIL. This is going to hurt transfer portal. This is going to hurt everything that is now the lifeblood of college football teams, losing your general manager, who was widely regarded as the rising star of the college football era with that. And to me, now the message is simple, because the Badgers can't muster enough NIL to pay their athletes, both to get them here and to keep them. And not only that, we lose our general manager. Not enough money to keep them to the top programs like USC. So I sit back and say, okay, I've simply accepted it that the Badgers are not made to succeed in the new college football, and I have accepted it. I have accepted the Badgers are going to be mediocre. They are not built to handle this new college football world. Any advantage they had in recruiting or development is completely gone. So until things change significantly, the Badgers have no choice but to wade in the waters of mediocrity, because their financial situation, roster building, maintaining even coaches and general managers is completely harmed, and inability to compete with the top programs of college football. So, Kyle, you're a Badger fan like I am. I know you are too, Strofe. You should join me in just accepting the fact that the Badgers are just going to be average until things change.
Yeah, I just can't accept this. Like, I cannot accept the fact that we hired Luke Fickell and we were excited and we were hiring him to take us to the next level. We were hiring him to be able to compete in the NIL. And now what your NIL type college football world and landscape that we have. And now what you're telling me is that next year and the years after are just a wash. Like, I shouldn't get excited. I should no longer get hyped up. I shouldn't go looking through the schedule saying, okay, if the Badgers can pull off the upset here, they can do that. Like, it is completely over?
It would be in your best interest and mine to not let our heart and our emotion be jeered with that, because it's only going to be high expectations that will be completely unmet. I just don't see what advantage the Badgers have over any standard program. They don't have a big NIL fund to be able to pay their guys in there. They can't necessarily keep guys that ascend, then can go to free agency, aka the portal, and get paid more. And you can't even maintain your coaches and your administrative staff. That's never been more important in this world, because if there's one thing that I thought that maybe, just maybe, the Badgers would be able to maintain, it's a sense of loyalty. It's a sense of community. It's a sense of Wisconsin. We stand for something greater than what NIL is. And Max Steinecker, who I can't blame him for taking more money, has been loyal and been with Coach Fickell since the beginning. And even then, that wasn't enough to keep him in Wisconsin. Well, he went and took a job at USC, which upends a lot of the efforts for NIL and recruiting.
Yeah, he probably saw the writing on the wall, right? What you're talking about is what everybody sees, is that it's just not going to work. It's not going to work because he hasn't been able to keep his recruits here. But then on top of that, he just hasn't been able to win football games.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that Badger fans should think about is that this team regressed. We fired Paul Chryst because we saw them regressing. And now the regression has continued. He did not stop it. He's going to go into year 3, and we have zero optimism whatsoever. When he got hired to this football program, he talked about the fact that the Wisconsin Badgers had a great, a program that had a great foundation. The foundation that was built by Barry Alvarez and carried over from multiple coaches after him has completely been cracked and destroyed by Luke Fickell and his staff. There is no foundation of what this program is. The deep, rich history that Barry Alvarez built up no longer exists whatsoever. And the results that we have on the football field is a team that is not going to make a bowl game in probably back-to-back years. I don't know what we're waiting for. How much I want us to trade for Myles Garrett is the same amount of enthusiasm I want us to just move on from Luke Fickell. It's not worth it. If we think that he can't turn this team around, then what are we waiting for?
Yeah, I mean, all the guys that were major assets for Coach Fickell, this Max Steinecker being one of them, helping him build that roster at Cincinnati and create a lot of the excitement that showed up at Wisconsin. A lot of those initial aides, they're gone now, right? They've gone in different directions. They've gone other places. So I don't know what it is that Luke Fickell is going to bring to this team that's going to change the fortunes around. But my bigger concern is, even without Coach Fickell, who are you going to bring in that's going to be able to compete in this environment? We always talk about how the Brewers are in a bad position financially to compete in Major League Baseball, right? Because there's no salary cap in Major League Baseball. So when you're the Brewers and you've got a $70 million cap and you're trying to compete against the Dodgers and the Yankees, which are $250 million, literally like 4 times yours, how can you possibly compete? The Badgers are in the same situation. They can't financially compete with Ohio State and Georgia and Bama.
Okay,
and USC,
but again,
you can't even keep players here.
See, my thing is this: if Wisconsin had the same schedule as Indiana, I don't think Wisconsin is going to the college football playoffs this year. Right? And I
agree.
And so Indiana found a way to do it and become relevant. And I think other programs are going to come and go. Minnesota was more relevant. There is no reason why the Wisconsin Badger football team should have been boat raced by that stupid Minnesota Gophers team. There's no way it should have been boat raced by Iowa. And there's no way they should have been boat raced by Nebraska as well. That is embarrassing, especially after competing against Alabama early, but also competing against Penn State in that game and competing against Oregon throughout that entire game. There's no reason why that should happen. And that all falls on Luke Fickell. I don't know what we're waiting for. I really don't. And I'm not anti-Luke Fickell. I'm anti-losing. I'm anti-sucking. I'm anti-seeing the team that I grew up that was the most consistent team in Wisconsin, making a bowl game, I believe, 22 straight years. All of a sudden, poof, gone, and we have no future in hope in thinking that we're going to be back in a bowl game. A bowl game! That's the bare minimum.
Yeah, Kyle.
6 wins?
I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm not saying that the Badgers can't be the 6, 7, 8 win team and certainly should be able to compete with Minnesota and Iowa, Nebraska, those teams. But I'm just holding out no hope that they're going to be a 10-win plus team anytime soon. I just don't see it. And they're just simply not built to succeed in this new college football environment.
So when I type into Google, Badgers hire Luke Fickell from Cincinnati, do you know what Google suggests for me to do?
What does Google suggest?
It suggests for me to put in, do you mean Badgers fire Luke Fickell from Cincinnati?
No.
I'm dead serious.
AI taken over.
No lies. I'm not making that up. I'm not making it up. I'm like, no, I want to see what was said when he was hired. But
That
Google is already telling
wild.
us that we need to fire Luke Fickell.
Yeah, you said, Badgers hire Luke Fickell. Google says, do you mean Badgers fire Luke Fickell? I think your H needs to be an F. That is concerning. Google, I mean, that's AI. AI is smarter than all of us.
Yeah, they see it.
Something.
They see it. Chris McIntosh, go ahead, Google what you need to do. Google will let you know.
Yeah, 800 the AI coders, they know.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line where less is more. But you know what? On the other side, you know what time it is?
What's that?
It's time for Becoming Relevant with Alex Strofe. We all love that. Keep it locked. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
I love you, Lou. That's Lewis from the north side. The north side always knows.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Eastbound on 94, looking a little bit tight right in the stadium interchange. Not too bad, though. The westbound side's a little heavier, though. We do have delays from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 4394, got some backups from the Marquette all the way down over the high-rise bridge, a little bit more right near the KK River. Our earlier issue on Highway 100 near Burleigh, that has been cleared out of the way. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles, now offering a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing and raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors. Order at Kringle.com or call 1-800-4DANISH. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 23. Tomorrow, cloudy with an afternoon light mix, high of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct. February is here and love is in the air, but if you're not in love with the way your home feels this winter, Universal Windows Direct has the perfect solution with their Love Your Windows sales event. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Need 4 windows, you pay for 2. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the 2 of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6. It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts. That's for the culture.
Save big money right now at Menards. Adding Knauf fiberglass insulation to your home is an effective way to keep warm and lower your utility bills by 15%. Plus, you can stack on savings with additional federal tax credits on qualifying energy-efficient upgrades. Get a roll of R13 craft-faced fiberglass insulation for $12.99. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman, the longtime NFL punter, Wisconsin Badger legend who is frustrated with the current state of the Wisconsin Badger program. And he is Alex Strofe, moving rhythmless back there, holding it down on the ones and twos.
That seemed unnecessary.
But it's factual. What, we don't like the truth anymore?
Rhythm. Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Kyle, I'm real sick of your crap.
Oh. Okay, I don't know what I did to you. I've been nothing but
friendly.
Well,
you just called me rhythmless 14 seconds ago, so that's just the beginning.
And I feel like you would
tip of the iceberg.
You would take actual offense to that. I really think that. Because, like, if you said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. But I feel like you have enough swagger and rhythm that you actually want to be recognized for your swagger.
Now, you know, to be honest, this is coming from Brad, who lacks swagger and rhythm. So he's not, you know, that's like a 10-year-old trying to teach a 16-year-old how to drive. Oh, they know how to drive, all right. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't.
I hate to say it, but that's a really fair point by you.
Yeah, I was just saying. So to him, it's like, boy, oh boy, I'm so jealous of Strofe. Look at him move.
So
Look at him.
Fluid, loose.
Yeah, all of those things are certainly what I've been described as before. So, Kyle, here's the thing. We've talked about it before, but we need to put the kibosh on it. Your email etiquette is atrocious.
What do you mean it's atrocious? What are these head nods?
It's a problem.
You're just way too formal with people you don't need to be formal with.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
For
example, recently we were sitting next to you at a meeting, and we asked you to send us a document, this, us being me and Brad. And you sent this. Hello. The document is, or good afternoon. Attached is the document. Best, Kyle Wallace.
Dang right. Look
we
at
are
that
sitting
format.
next to you.
Okay, well,
just send the damn document.
No,
I don't need a good after. I don't need pleasantries. I don't need a sign off. I don't need any of that. Just send the document. I'm right next to you. You already said good afternoon.
We have a closer relationship than the formality
of
that email.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for your inquiry.
I'm sorry. When I wake up every day and put my pants on, left-legged and right-legged, throw my shirt on.
Wash your booty and
wash my booty every single day when I shower, and I come into something called work, where you have to be a professional. And so regardless of what people say, I will always be a professional.
So do you think it's unprofessional for me to just send an email that says, attached is the document?
100%. 100%.
That's unprofessional.
So you need to have a greeting.
Even though I am sitting directly next to you.
100%. I don't cheat anybody. I would not disrespect anybody. Everybody who I email gets the same level of respect, whether or not I like you, I don't like you, whether or not I work with you all the time or I don't. Everybody gets a good morning, good afternoon, a hey, or a best, because I want you to be your best.
Here's the other half of that. Best is a crappy email sign-off. It's disrespectful. It's passive-aggressive. It's a bad email sign-off.
Should I do best regards? I was doing best regards.
No, that's even worse. Kind regards, warm regards, best regards, all awful.
Sincerely? I thought that was too much.
Thanks.
There should be no sign-off. Just the name.
Kyle.
You've got the message. You did what you need to do in the email.
I want to say
I don't need to give you some sort of salutation.
In what world do we live in where somebody is getting chastised for being professional? Where somebody's being chastised for saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Because you don't mean it.
Best. I do mean it. I mean, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
You do that quite often on this program.
You got me there.
I'm offended because you use informal language with someone you're not very comfortable with. So you're telling me you're not comfortable enough with me.
No,
with Stroh.
no.
Great point.
Listen, when stuff hits the fan, right, like it did at FS1, ain't nobody gonna be coming to me talking about Kyle Wallace did not. Hell no. Look at his emails. He was
Good
clean.
afternoon, sir.
Listen, everything they gonna look through my emails. They can say, ain't nothing there.
Good
ain't
morning,
nothing there.
ma'am.
Consistent,
madam.
Consistent. They ain't coming after me. Ain't nobody gonna get me. I'm consistent. So, yes, my emails are formal because I'm a professional.
The situation you just compared to is very different than saying good afternoon and best in an email.
No, I'm just saying.
To somebody you're sitting directly next to.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I got to keep it professional. I'm not like you guys. I never deviate from my professionalism.
So what's the worst email sign-off?
I don't know. I just somebody just forwarding something. Like somebody I don't know.
I think thanks is. Thanks.
You think that's lazy?
Yeah, well, I think it's disingenuous. I don't think they're actually thankful. I think
they're
like
all
just
the best?
sending a message.
All the best.
But they're wishing you
that's not sincere, though. You think Kyle's sincerity says best?
I am being sincere.
Is there any
I take time to write it.
That is well received?
Cheers.
Of course you would say cheers.
It's because that's what I sign my emails off with.
Cheers.
That's really so unprofessional.
Cheers.
It's so unprofessional.
I sign all my emails with A.
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's so lazy. What generation of A? All these initials.
No,
cheers.
Not A. No, it's not
A.
this.
Hey.
Like A as in Alex.
Why don't you just put Alex down? Like it's so you would send that if we had to one of our great partners, you would send cheers A.
I like cheers.
Just
I don't like A.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I bet you that partner is gonna probably drop us.
If we called you A, then that makes sense. Why don't you say Strofe then? You should say cheers, Strofe.
Sometimes I always feel weird about introducing myself or signing things with my last name. Right? So like most people I am friends with or friendly with or work with refer to me strictly as Strofe. That is my name, right? My name is not Alex to you guys. You always refer to me as Strofe or Strophe, right?
Or Alexander.
That's not my name. Strophe. Al Strophe.
I got to see a birth certificate, buddy.
Okay, I'll work on that. I have one at the apartment. But
yes, what you call it? You don't call it your shelter? Because you're homeless?
Dang.
That's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I never introduce myself and say, hey, I'm Strofe. I say, hey, I'm Alex. We had a new teammate that started yesterday, and I said, hello, I'm Alex. Speaking of which, he called me Kyle.
Oh, yes.
Because I was telling him what I do. I said, hey, I produce Kyle Bruston Ortman, and we're talking for a little bit. And then he goes, okay, your name was Kyle, right? I said, no, it's Alex. Now Wander's Kyle Wallace. He goes, oh, he loves the best on-air host on that show. I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you, John. Guy's name wasn't John. Well, Kyle got his name wrong. His name is Josh.
I wasn't ear hustling, but you were right outside my office, and I was trying to work, and I just heard I heard my name. When you hear your name, your ears perk up. And so I heard my name, and I heard Strofe go, no, that's not me. I said, well, let me barge in here and introduce him to the guy he really wants to meet, because obviously he didn't want to meet Alex or Strofe or wherever you want to go by. He was waiting to meet Kyle.
Wow.
And then Kyle said, how you doing, John?
We hadn't met before. We haven't met before.
Yeah, clearly, because that's not his name.
And you know what's funny is that he was actually waiting to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
He was. He came from a place to somebody I knew. He was like, oh, man, you're going to be working with Kyle. Now, the guy who he knew probably should have told him it's a dread-headed brother that he was looking for, not some skinny 130-pound white guy, but, it is what it is.
It's fair.
Is that it, Strofe? All right. Oh, no, fantastic. That is becoming relevant with Alex Strofe. But you know what's relevant is going home after work and cracking open one of these.
That's right, Kyle. It's always relevant to crack yourself open. A Carbless. A Carbless has everything that I am looking for when it comes to my drink of choice. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a ready-to-drink cocktail. It's made right here in the great state of Wisconsin, which I love. Here's what else I love about Carbless. Gluten-free, carb-free, sugar-free. That means guilt-free, 100 calories per can, and the perfect amount of carbonation. Not so much, not too little, Goldilocks-like. Just right. And not only that, boy, they have flavors for everybody. KBN Nation, margarita's my favorite classic cocktail, but there's something for everyone. Mojito, Pimento, Paloma, Moscow Mule, and fruit flavors like lemon, lime, cranberry, black raspberry. And listen up, KBN Nation. 5 new flavors coming in 2025. Birdie told me Carbless is going to send yours truly 5 of those flavors to taste and enjoy. I will report back to you immediately with how delicious those flavors are and which ones you got to go out there and enjoy spring, summer, and fall of 2025 with, and winter for that matter. Carbless. Less is more.
Luka had his press conference today. AD was at practice for the Mavericks. There was a big trade that happened over the weekend, and that got us here at KBN thinking, is there anybody we would trade our franchise quarterback for? Jordan Love? Strofe has a list of quarterbacks we'll go through. Who you would trade Jordan Love for? We'll talk about that on the other side. This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN.
Let them know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Come see Pal at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pal Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary DesignWorks consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Pewaukee Pirates girls basketball star Anna Tarian. In a game last weekend against number 1 ranked Kimberly, Tarian scored 28 points, a career high for her, and it also helped her cross the career threshold of 1,000 points for Pewaukee High School. It was an 82-67 win over the Papermakers. They are the defending Division II champions, playing a class up this season, something that Tarian has been commended for leading the charge of on the girls basketball front as a captain on and off the floor. When it comes to the future, Tarian is committed to play basketball at the next level at Michigan State. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Anna Tarian.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't miss a day of nonstop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th at Fiserv Forum. Catch all the exciting plays as 10 high school boys basketball teams hit the court. Watch 5 games featuring State Power Kettle Moraine along with Nicolay, Milwaukee Juneau, Kohler, Sun Prairie East, and Racine Park. General admission tickets are just $15 and are valid for all 5 games. See the full schedule and get your tickets today at FiservForum.com. Be there for the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, We refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
$800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line, and this is Kyle Bruston Nortman. And did I say something wrong, Strofe? Oh, thank you, goodness. I thought I messed up. But this is Kyle Bruston Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin. And Alex Strofe, you're gonna rapid fire here the names of people that we would trade for Jordan Love. And this is based off what happened with Luka Doncic getting traded for Anthony Davis. Brad, is there anybody you would trade Jordan Love for? Go off the list, Trophy.
So I would imagine automatically Patrick Mahomes is a yes.
Yes, that's
yes.
Lamar Jackson is a yes.
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 Joe Burrow is a yes.
Ooh, the injury risk concerns me, but yes.
Yes.
Josh Allen is a yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I missing anybody? Did I say Lamar?
Jaden Daniels is a yes.
Okay, we'll get to that one.
Yeah, those four are unquestionable yeses.
Okay, let's go to this one. Justin Herbert.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He hasn't done that much.
Okay. How about Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Give me that one.
Younger, fast.
What about C.J. Stroud?
No. Year 2 wasn't good enough for me. I wouldn't have traded Jordan Love for C.J. Stroud last year. I'm not going to do it again this year. C.J. Stroud struggled this year. Granted, he had guys out, but he struggled this year.
Yeah, he feels like Herbert. It's a push for me. And in a push, I go
push?
Yeah, it's a push. I go with Love in a push.
Jared Goff.
No. Don't want his old behind. No.
Not high enough of a ceiling. He needs everything around him. I don't know if he can possibly push an organization over the edge.
Oh, he's been to a Super Bowl.
Playing in a Super Bowl on Sunday. Jalen Hurts.
Nope, don't want him.
I don't know.
I don't want him.
He's got that dog in him. He can run. He's strong.
No, he's really good. He is really good.
Give me Jalen Hurts.
Nah, I'm taking Jordan Love.
Give me Jalen Hurts.
I'm taking Jordan Love.
Likely a top 3 pick in this year's NFL draft from Colorado. How about Shedeur Sanders?
Ooh. Does Deion come along with him?
No.
I'm going to pass.
Deion does come along with him.
Ooh. Even more pass.
Oh, wow. Deion turned. The Broncos. Colorado was able to go from losing to bad teams to beating bad teams at least, and they won like 8 games this year, 9 games.
I don't know if there is even if a quarterback was amazing in college, like absolutely amazing.
Yeah, see Jaden Daniels.
Until they play at least one game in the NFL, it's not worth judging them based on college football.
All right. Last one for you. Trevor Lawrence.
Hell no.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Listen, he hasn't done any. He has not done enough in the NFL for us to really want him.
Yeah, I do.
And he's hurt.
Yeah, give me Jordan Love. Give me Jordan Love.
What do you mean?
I don't think he's done any favors in the Jags organization. I wonder what Trevor Lawrence could do with Matt LaFleur or someone that's actually good like that.
That's fair enough. I guess we'll never know.
I guess give me J Love. So, how many quarters? Duval. Sad.
We'll run through this again. We want to run through this again because we're going to ask Tori Lowe the same question because how much of a big Packer backer that I am and a Packer backer that Strofe is, Tori Lowe is a true Packer backer as he has a whole traditional shrine that he has inside of his living room for the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see how loyal he is to Jordan Love. But keep it locked because we'll have more in the 4 o'clock hour. For those listening in Madison, you have Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up here. And then those listening.
No more Molly. It was a one-day stop-in.
Really?
That's interesting.
She was just popping in with the twins, yeah.
So she's still on maternity leave?
They still got another month.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's what's up. Hey, and then you have the best damn sports show in Beaver Dam on ESPN Beaver Dam. But there is more Kyle Bruston Nortman coming up next right here on ESPN Milwaukee.
You're gonna give them all your money. Radio plays what they want you to hear. Tell me it's cool.